Innovation is inherently risky. When you aim to disrupt industries, whether it's electric vehicles, space travel, or neural interfaces, the road is full of obstacles. Yet, Elon Musk has built some of the most influential companies in the world by embracing risk and seeing uncertainty as a natural part of the journey. Take Tesla, for example. When Musk joined the company in 2004, electric vehicles, EVs, were considered impractical and too expensive to be a mainstream option. At that time, the idea of creating affordable electric vehicles that could compete with traditional cars seemed almost impossible. But Musk wasn't just creating a car, he was creating a new future for transportation. To make that vision a reality, Musk took on massive risks, financially, technically, and reputationally. Tesla's early years were filled with setbacks, production issues, and financial struggles. At one point, the company was running out of money, but Musk kept pushing forward, believing in a future where electric vehicles would lead to a cleaner, sustainable world. Despite the doubts and failures, he kept his focus on the long-term goal, transforming the automotive industry. Now Tesla is the leader in EVs, revolutionizing the car industry and expanding into renewable energy solutions. Musk's approach was not to minimize risk, but to manage it by keeping his eye on the logical. When Musk founded SpaceX in 2002, the idea of a private company competing in space seemed outlandish. Space travel was primarily the domain of government agencies. However, Musk believed that reducing the cost of space travel would ultimately allow humanity to become a multiplanetary species. This was another massive risk, but Musk was willing to put his own fortune on the line to make it happen. The first few rocket launches from SpaceX were failures, and there were many moments when it seemed like the company might not survive, but Musk didn't back down. Each failure was an opportunity to improve and refine. Today, SpaceX has transformed the space industry by developing reusable rockets, cutting space travel costs, and making space exploration more commercially viable. Musk's companies, while facing intense challenges and risks, have been successful because of his willingness to embrace uncertainty. He doesn't shy away from risks. Instead, he takes them head-on, learning and adapting through each setback. This is a mindset that sets Musk apart from many entrepreneurs and traditional businesses that often prioritize stability and predictability. For most businesses, risk is something to minimize. The priority is on short-term profitability and avoiding failure. But for Musk, failure isn't the end. It's part of the process. He sees risk not as a threat, but as an opportunity to achieve great things. And he has shown that real innovation requires risk-taking. Innovation, at its core, is about venturing into the unknown. Whether it's with electric cars, private space travel, or brain-machine interfaces, Musk has built companies that pioneered new industries, knowing that the road to success isn't smooth, but the ultimate payoff, a future where technology works to sustainably advance humanity, is worth the risks involved. As investors, we can learn a lot from Musk's approach. We often view risk as something to avoid, something that makes us uncomfortable. But true innovation and disruptive companies are built on embracing uncertainty and having the vision to see beyond the immediate volatility. Musk's success shows us that the greatest opportunities often come from taking risks that others aren't willing to take, and by focusing on long-term goals rather than short-term profits. Elon Musk's ability to take risks is rooted in his long-term vision. While most companies focus on short-term profits and immediate results, Musk is thinking about the future, sometimes decades ahead. This long-term thinking allows him to embrace risks that others would avoid, knowing that innovation and transformation take time. Musk's companies like Tesla and SpaceX are not focused on quick wins. They are focused on long-term goals that require massive investments and overcoming significant risks. This is where Musk's approach to risk management differs from that of traditional businesses, which are often driven by the pressure to deliver quarterly results and maintain short-term stability. For example, when Musk founded SpaceX, he wasn't just thinking about building a rocket. His goal was far more ambitious: to make space travel more affordable and enable humanity to become a multiplanetary species. This long-term vision meant that Musk had to take on enormous risks, not only financially, but also in terms of reputation. In its early years, SpaceX faced failed rocket launches, technical problems, and even the risk of bankruptcy. Yet, Musk didn't abandon his vision. He doubled down on innovation, using each failure as a lesson to improve the technology and get closer to his goal of transforming space travel. Similarly, Tesla faced its own set of challenges. The company was heavily criticized in its early years for production delays, financial instability, and technical problems. Yet, Musk remained committed to his long-term vision of making electric vehicles mainstream. While other companies were cautious, Musk took the risk of investing heavily in battery technology and electric vehicle infrastructure, knowing that the world would eventually need sustainable transportation. Today, Tesla is the leader in electric vehicles, and Musk's long-term vision has not only transformed the auto industry, but also set the stage for the growth of renewable energy. Musk's ability to manage risk comes from his unwavering focus on the bigger picture. Unlike traditional businesses, which often make decisions based on immediate market conditions, Musk's companies are built around a vision that requires time and patience to bring to fruition. This ability to see beyond short-term volatility and focus on the future is what enables Musk to take risks that would seem unthinkable to others. For investors, this lesson is critical. Managing risk is about looking beyond the short-term challenges and focusing on the long-term potential. Instead of reacting to quarterly results or immediate stock performance, we can make investment decisions based on companies that have a clear vision for the future and are willing to take calculated risks to achieve it. Musk's companies have proven that patience is key in managing risk, and sometimes the most valuable opportunities are those that take years to come to fruition. Musk's success is a clear example of how patience plays a crucial role in managing risk. While most companies are focused on quarterly earnings and short-term growth, Musk's ventures require time and a long-term commitment. In the case of Tesla, for example, the company didn't become profitable until years after its inception. Yet Musk's patience and belief in his vision allowed him to stay the course and continue to invest in innovation, ultimately making Tesla one of the most valuable companies in the world. This is where many investors go wrong. We often think that quick returns are the key to success, but the real wealth is built by those who are willing to wait for the long-term payoff. Musk's ability to remain focused on the future and his willingness to invest heavily in the long-term vision is the reason why his companies continue to lead the way in innovation and sustainability. Musk's patience is also evident in his approach to SpaceX. He understood that the goal of making space travel affordable and sustainable would take time. While other aerospace companies focused on single-use rockets, Musk's vision was to develop reusable technology, which required substantial risk and investment. But he didn't rush the process. Instead, he made the necessary investments in research, development, and testing to ensure that when SpaceX did succeed, it would revolutionize the space industry. As investors, we can apply this same principle to our portfolios. Managing risk doesn't mean avoiding it altogether. It means making decisions based on a clear long-term vision of what a company can achieve. Instead of reacting to market fluctuations or looking for immediate returns, investors should seek out companies that are investing in the future, even if it means taking risks today. By staying focused on long-term goals and managing risk through patience, investors can achieve success in industries that are still in the process of transformation. Musk's ability to embrace uncertainty, manage risk, and stay focused on the big picture is a strategy that has allowed him to build groundbreaking companies. For investors, the takeaway is clear. The best investments are often those that are willing to take calculated risks, invest in innovation, and stay focused on the future, just as Musk has done with Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink. C はこの流れで第3歩、リスク&リワード The Road of Failure に進めますか、それとも内容を微調整して進めますか。 Elon Musk's approach to risk management is deeply intertwined with his ability to embrace failure. In most businesses, failure is seen as something to be avoided at all costs. Companies often avoid taking big risks because they fear the potential downside, whether it's financial loss, damage to reputation, or loss of consumer confidence. But Musk has shown that failure is an inevitable part of the innovation process. In fact, he's embraced it. Musk has often said that failure is an option in his companies. Rather than viewing failure as a negative, Musk sees it as a learning opportunity, a chance to gather data, improve the product, and get closer to the ultimate goal. This is a mindset that is drastically different from the typical business approach, which often avoids risk because of the potential for failure. Take SpaceX as an example. In the early days, SpaceX faced 3 failed rocket launches. Most companies in this position would have folded under the pressure or changed direction entirely, but Musk saw those failures as lessons rather than obstacles. He took each failure as an opportunity to improve the design, refine the technology, and make SpaceX better prepared for the next attempt. That's exactly what happened. SpaceX not only succeeded in launching a rocket, but went on to develop reusable rockets, an achievement that has changed the space industry forever. By embracing failure and learning from it, SpaceX was able to make a major leap forward in the space industry. The same is true for Tesla. In its early years, Tesla struggled with production delays, battery issues, and quality control. There were moments when it seemed like the company might not survive. Yet Musk didn't abandon the company when things were tough. Instead, he doubled down on the mission of creating sustainable, mass-market electric vehicles. Tesla's early failures were an essential part of the process. By pushing forward through challenges and not giving up, Musk was able to develop the Model S, which became a game changer in the electric vehicle market. Failure, in this case, was a necessary step on the way to success. Musk's approach shows us that failure isn't the end of the road. It's part of the learning process. In fact, some of the most innovative breakthroughs come from the lessons learned from failure. Without failure, there is no opportunity to improve or innovate. Every setback offers an opportunity to gather new data, refine the product, and adjust the approach. For investors, this lesson is invaluable. Instead of shying away from companies that experience setbacks or failures, we should look at how these companies respond to challenges. Companies that learn from failure and adapt are often the ones that end up leading their industries. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about how you manage it and how you use it as a stepping stone toward greater success. The fear of failure often causes investors to avoid high-risk, high-reward opportunities. But Musk has proven that risk is an essential part of growth and innovation. Without the willingness to fail, we would never have breakthroughs like reusable rockets, autonomous vehicles, or electric cars. These are the types of innovations that change industries, and they don't happen without taking risks. In the world of investing, the fear of losing money often leads to risk-averse behavior. Many investors shy away from opportunities that involve uncertainty, preferring to stick with safer, more traditional investments. But this fear of loss can often lead to missed opportunities. Just like Musk's companies, the most successful investments often come with high risk. And just like Musk, the most successful investors are those who are willing to embrace risk and the potential for failure in order to achieve long-term growth. If we view failure as an obstacle, we may miss out on some of the best opportunities. Instead of fearing failure, we should view it as a learning opportunity, a chance to reassess and adapt our investment strategies. After all, the road to success is rarely a straight line, and sometimes the greatest rewards come from taking risks that others avoid. Musk's companies show us that innovation is impossible without risk. Tesla and SpaceX didn't succeed by playing it safe. They succeeded because Musk embraced risk, failed, and then learned from those failures. He took risks that no one else was willing to take, and in doing so, he created some of the most disruptive companies of the 21st century. As investors, the lesson is clear. Don't be afraid of failure. Instead of avoiding companies that face challenges, we should look for companies that are learning from those challenges and growing because of them. The best investments are often the ones that are willing to take calculated risks and learn from failure in order to innovate and grow. Elon Musk's approach to risk isn't about being reckless. It's about calculated risk-taking. While many entrepreneurs take risks blindly or avoid them altogether, Musk's strategy involves carefully assessing the potential rewards and downsides before making a move. For Musk, risk is always always tied to his long-term vision. When SpaceX was first founded, launching reusable rockets seemed like an enormous financial risk. But Musk understood that the long-term benefits, lower costs, and the ability to make space exploration more accessible were worth it. By focusing on reusability, Musk revolutionized the space industry. Similarly, with Tesla, while traditional automakers were cautious about electric vehicles, Musk invested heavily in battery technology and manufacturing infrastructure. This calculated risk paid off, as Tesla became the world's leader in electric vehicles. The key to Musk's strategy is timing. He knows that some risks need to be taken early, while others require patience to execute at the right time. Musk's ability to scale risk over time, starting with his own investment and then attracting external capital, has allowed him to minimize personal exposure while still pursuing ambitious goals. For investors, this shows that risk should be evaluated carefully and that long-term potential should always be weighed against immediate volatility. Calculated risk-taking, guided by a clear vision, is the key to achieving transformational growth. Elon Musk's ability to embrace risk and learn from failure has been central to his success. He understands that true innovation requires risk, and the key is to manage it with a long-term vision. By taking calculated risks and staying focused on future goals, Musk has disrupted entire industries and created groundbreaking companies. As investors, we can learn from Musk's approach. Embrace risk in pursuit of long-term rewards. Focus on vision, not just short-term profits, and learn from failure and use it as a stepping stone to improve. In the next episode, we'll explore how emerging technologies like AI and blockchain are reshaping the investment landscape. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to continuing this journey with you in the next episode.